So how can a dealership sell a stolen car and get away with it without having anything really be wrong about it? Well, this is an interesting story, but it does show the limits of some of these VIN checker, VIN search sites. And they're not all bad, but if you're doing any kind of online VIN check or online VIN search, you'll see at the bottom there are disclaimers that say it's not 100% guaranteed. They don't have all the records. And here's a good example why. So here's what happened. This woman had a vehicle that was stolen, and inside the vehicle was the title for the vehicle. Now that's another side note, is don't leave your title inside your car. Put that in the house. And the person who stole the vehicle forged the title and sold it to a dealership. It was reported stolen. Reported stolen to police and DMV the next day. But what happened was, when the used car dealership did just a basic VIN check online with one of these VIN checker, VIN searcher, even Carfax, it didn't show up as stolen because that police department didn't report it to the consumer level vehicle reporting system. They had it in the NCIC, which is a National Crime Information Computer, or NCIS information system, but they didn't report it to the consumer grade level of vehicle records. And what happened because of that is the dealership never determined that it was stolen. So they sold it to somebody. When that person went to get it registered, then they discovered it was stolen. But by then, the car had been shipped to Hawaii, and really both parties now are suffering a loss. And look, in this case, even the dealership in Hawaii didn't catch it because the shipping company didn't even catch it. When the prior owner that had their car stolen did a search for their VIN number, they found that it was listed for sale, their actual car. So this is a couple lessons come from this. First of all, don't keep your title in the vehicle. Second of all, if you're looking to buy a vehicle, unless you're handed the title at the time of sale, make sure and you check that VIN number, not in online, Carfax or Rumble or any of these other places. You want to check it, or Bumper, I should say. You want to check it directly with the police department. You want to go to the police department in the town or county or jurisdiction where you're located with your photo ID and that serial number, and have them tell you if that vehicle is legitimate. Because, look, in this case right here, this was a stolen car, and a dealership sold it because they only checked the consumer grade VIN check. They didn't do the police level VIN check. So these are one of the limitations you'll find on vehicle identification number background checks, that it doesn't check everything, because the police system has different records than the DMV system, and that has different records than the NMVTIS, and that has different records than Carfax. So all 3 or 4 records need to be checked to make sure, first of all, it's not stolen, but also you want to make sure there's no liens, because if you check it with the police, they'll tell you it's not stolen, but they can't tell you if there's any liens. So you want to check all the sources for vehicle history to make sure that the vehicle is safe and secure. The easiest way to make sure that you're good to go on your vehicle is making sure that you get handed a title at the time of sale. We never recommend that you purchase a vehicle if you're not handed a title. But even if you are, you want to check that vehicle. We just had a call earlier today. One of our salespeople told us about a customer that purchased a vehicle. They were handed a title at the time of sale, and they thought they were in good shape. Come to find out, the person selling the vehicle had requested a duplicate title, and the title they handed them was the old one. Well, guess what happens? If you get a duplicate replacement title certificate, the old one becomes void. So now that buyer took that title, went to the DMV to try to get a new title, and they said, no, this title is invalid. It's the old title, not the new one. What the seller had done was use that duplicate title to get a car title loan. So the title they gave to the buyer, being the original, wasn't valid. The duplicate had been given to the car title loan place, so it had a lien on it now. And the new buyer wasn't able to get a title unless they paid off that lien.